Apple announced the launch of its Macintosh personal computers in 1984 in a Super Bowl commercial. What was interesting about this commercial, this advertisement, was that Apple never talked about the product, the Mac machine, in this ad. What they talked about, in fact, they did not even talk about the features of the product. What they talked about was how a new world was possible by adopting newer technologies, by adopting a new approach to newer technologies, wherein the customer is at the center and not big companies. So marketing has been evolving for the last 100 years, wherein at first there used to be large print ads with large texts. So one case that comes to mind is the Ford Model T ad, wherein the ad talked about Model T's features only. Then what it evolved to was image-based ads, pictorial ads, which then gave way to TV commercials, and finally video-based marketing campaign. And now what we are seeing is an onslaught of augmented reality-based immersive ads, which are more interactive, more engaging, and more personalized to the user. So marketing is, we understand that it's very deeply connected with sales, because marketing has to create that product awareness which produces sales. So today what brands, what companies want to do is make campaigns which relate to the customer in their own reality, in their own context, so as to break the clutter and get noticed by the consumers. So in today's podcast, we will discuss how these immersive marketing campaigns are being created through web augmented reality, and how web augmented reality is helping increase the leads, increase the lead funnel for these businesses, so as to generate more revenue for them. Hello everyone, welcome to the Metaverse Guy podcast. I'm Prafulla Mathur, co-founder of Wassel and Kreplin, and I'll be your host for today. In this podcast, we discuss augmented reality, virtual reality, Web3, basically all the constituent elements of the metaverse, how it impacts you, how it impacts the world, and what will be the future of all the life that we live because of all these technologies. If you are a technology enthusiast, if you are a marketer, or if you are an entrepreneur, you will find a lot of important information in our podcasts. And if you do find this helpful, please subscribe to our channel, the Metaverse Guy podcast. So what we are discussing today is how web augmented reality is helping increase the revenues, the sales, through increasing lead funnels for businesses and brands today. Before we move further, it's important to understand what web augmented reality is and what a marketing funnel is. So web augmented reality is a technology which allows a user to interact with digital content in their own physical reality. And how it works is that it overlays digital media, digital information on physical realities, physical planes of the user, by using your smartphones, by devices like your tablets and even your laptops. And how this happens is at the back end, you have technologies like artificial intelligence, computer vision, etc., which enable this kind of augmented reality to happen. Now, apart from this, it's important to understand what marketing funnel is. So marketing funnel is also known as sales funnels or purchase funnels. And it's nothing but an illustration of a user's journey while purchasing a product. And there are various stages of a marketing funnel. The first one is the awareness stage, wherein a customer gets to know about your product, your brand, your service. After awareness comes the interest stage, wherein they show an interest to know more about you and your brand. After that comes the consideration stage, wherein they are now considering whether to buy your product or not. After consideration, they show a positive intent towards making a purchase, and finally after showing this intent, finally go into the purchase. So today we'll focus on the first stage of awareness and interest creation. This is where the user starts to get introduced to your brand or your product. Now, your goal here is to break the clutter so that the user gets to know you, becomes aware of your brand, and shows an interest to know more about your product. Now, it's important to remember that at this stage, the people are not yet ready to make a purchase. What they're looking for is more information so that they can consider all the options. Okay. Now, your job here is to give them enough value and education so that they can become confident enough to move further down into the purchase funnel. Okay. Now, this is where web augmented reality can become very important. Web augmented reality can engage and interact with the users so as to attain their attention, to as to capture their attention. Because there are so many products out there, how do you make sure that the customer gets to notice you? So web augmented reality can, in a couple of ways, help you there. The first one is by creating, let's say, virtual product demonstrations, or your storyboarding of your storytelling of the brand in augmented reality. Now, this can be done in a couple of ways. One, you can you can showcase your product in a way that the user is able to visualize your product in augmented reality. They can try on your product in augmented reality. It could be a try on of a jewelry item. It could be try on of a furniture item. It could be clothes that the user can wear in augmented reality. This basically does, what it does is it picks the interest. It creates a curiosity in the consumer's mind. And with this curiosity, they become interested to know more about the product. Apart from this, not only it is, creating this engagement, they are engaging and interacting with the users, it is also collecting valuable data for valuable user behavior data for the business as well. With this customer insight about customers' preferences, customers' interest, businesses can create future marketing campaigns as well, which are more suited to the customer's need. Okay. So this was one. Apart from this, what web augmented reality can do is you can create AR enhanced products, AR enhanced packaging for your product. So what can happen is the user will be able to scan your product or its packaging and then see 3D models, 3D animations or videos in their reality, which show them how the product works and which tell them how to use the product as well. Not only this is again creating engagement for the brand, but this is also telling the customer how the product functions, which alleviates or which removes any concerns or any objections that the customer might have, ultimately making them more comfortable and more confident about the product. Apart from this, another very important element of web augmented reality is how beautifully this can personalize the marketing campaign for the viewer, for the customer. Because see, personalization has a very important element of context. In augmented reality, you are first capturing the context of the customer, which is his or her reality. And in that reality, you are putting in your brand campaign, your product, your video, whatever experience you've created. But this is registered in the user's context, and hence it is very personalized to the user. Along with that, these experiences can be based on location of the user, they can be based on interests and behaviors of the user as well. So this personalization gives a lot of brand value for the customer's purchase. Now in the next segment, let's move on to understand, to see a few examples how some very interesting brands are using web augmented reality today. One prime example is from a company called Emirates NBD. Now, Emirates NBD is one of the largest banking organizations in the Middle East. And how they used web AR or web augmented reality is they created campaigns for every festival of the year. So one festival was Mother's Day, and they created this web AR experience wherein this Mother's Day badge was shown in augmented reality, and people could click their images with this badge. It was sort of an AR filter, and then they posted this on social media for for showing love and affection for their moms. Apart from this, what they also created was this campaign during the Chinese New Year last year. So Chinese New Year was the year of the tiger last year. And what they created was this augmented reality filter in web AR, wherein the user's face became a tiger's face. And there was some fun elements, fun animations around it. Users could take their pictures with this and again put it on social media. So this created a lot of buzz for Emirates NBD. You can imagine that when you are a banking organization, you have to kind of play within certain guidelines, and your product is not something that generates a lot of interest. It's a very commoditized product that you're selling. Okay, so for a bank, it becomes extremely important to create that fun element through web augmented reality. Another example is from a company called ITC, which is probably one of the largest FMCG company in India. And they recently launched these biscuits, these cookies called Sunfeast Farmlight. And the product has a theme that, when you eat these biscuits, these are so light that you start floating. They created this beautiful web augmented reality campaign wherein there was this surrounding. So when the user was seeing this experience, the user's room was converted into a mountain, and that mountain starts to fly, and the user is on top of it. There are clouds, there are planes that are going around, and the users could click their pictures with this and put on social media and create more and more buzz for the brand. This is a very recent campaign, and it's generating a lot of interest. And this also, I should tell you, is both from offline and online worlds, wherein if somebody goes to a superstore, they will be able to access or scan a QR code and access the WebAR campaign of ITC from there, basically bringing an offline customer from offline to online through augmented reality. Okay. So some interesting campaigns. One other that I can remember is by a company called Trendfinity. Now, Trendfinity is an Apple product reseller. So they sell iPhones, they sell Mac machines, so on and so forth. So what they did was they beautifully created this campaign with AR enhanced packaging. So when a customer comes into the store, they can scan this packaging and see how the box, how the iPhone packaging can be unboxed. When they buy the product, they can take it home, and at their home as well, people can scan this packaging and have their own personalized unboxing experience. So what you can see is that brands across the horizon, right from very large banks to resellers of technology products, are using web augmented reality to increase the sales funnel, to increase the leads that they are able to generate by giving more and more interactive, engaging, and personalized immersive experiences to their potential customers. I hope all these concepts, all these understanding, and all these examples that we've talked about have been beneficial for you, and you have taken some leaf out of this. For more such content, please stay tuned to our podcast, and thank you very much for attending this episode as well. I'll see you next time.